Hey YouTube, it's Erin and I am the Handbag Housewife, and I'm back today to do another video on camera bags. I have 4 that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to talk about a couple other ones that I have pictures of. But the 2 that I'm showing you right now are my Saint Laurent Lou camera bag and my Gucci Marmont small shoulder bag. It's not actually called a camera bag, but that's what most everybody thinks it is, in my opinion. So before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel and go check me out on Instagram. The name is the same, it's the Handbag Housewife. So these 2 bags, they have a lot of similarities, but they have a lot of differences as well. The leather on them, I would say the Gucci feels just a little bit more durable, but that's in this particular leather. They came out with this brown leather and it almost has a glazing on it. The leather that they had on the Gucci, well, the leather that they still have on the light pink version, as well as the black version, and I'm not sure how many other colors, the original leather that came out on these Gucci Marmont small shoulder bags, I felt like it was kind of fragile. And the reason why I say that is because I had bought one from Fashion File, and along the zipper edge, the leather was actually flaking off, or the color was flaking off the top of the leather. And I also have a cousin who has this bag, but in the porcelain rose color, and the corners, the color has just chipped off. And that may be just normal wear and tear that would also happen to this bag. But since I experienced it on the zipper edge, on my first Marmont small shoulder bag, I was just sort of deterred from buying that one again. And this color, I can already feel that the leather feels hardier. It's just different. So I thought I would start out by doing a few measurements, and that way I can show you what we're looking at. This bag is about 9.5 inches across. And the middle part is the tallest part. I would say, depending on how you hold it, it's 5.5 to 6 inches. And the depth of the bag is just under 3 inches. Okay, for the Saint Laurent Lou camera bag, it is also around 9 inches across, around 6 inches high, and about 2.5 inches deep. You can see the difference in depth when you look at them from the bottom. You can see that the Lou camera bag is slightly taller than the Marmont shoulder bag. And you can also see that the Marmont is rounded while the Lou is more squared off at the top. Well, actually for the whole bag, the Marmont has more rounded edges than the Lou camera bag. Now, because of those rounded edges, I feel like these 2 hold a very comparable amount. Let's look at what they hold. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in these bags what I usually carry. I've showed you many times. I'll start out with this one, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all loaded up, and then I will do this one. So first, my pouch. You can see there's tons of room left over. Next, my papers and cash. There's a side pocket inside that I'll slide that into. Next, my 2 key clays from Louis Vuitton. Next, this little pouch, key fob, AirPod case, and my card holder that I use most frequently. And then finally, my iPhone 11 Pro case. You can see there's still a lot of room left. You could probably put a small water bottle or some sunglasses in there. And when I zip it all up, I'm going to just do a quick mod shot for you. It has a really nice drop on it, and it has more length to go. So if you're a tall girl, it's a great option. If you're shorter, you may have to have some extra holes punched on this one. That's what I've heard anyway. If you look right here, the tassel is generally connected, just looped around the strap. And then when you pick it up, it goes down here. It just slides on down. Well, I didn't care for that, so I went ahead and put the tassel on a D-ring, which you can see here, and then I just snapped it on so it will hang off the side, and I really prefer that look. I'm going to go ahead and switch everything over to the Gucci Marmont, and I did want to show you that I do have a base shaper from M Boutique in there. and I believe it's in the color brown, and it matches really well, and I will link that below. So once again, there's an interior pocket where I can slide my cash and a Band-Aid and my paper items, and then you can see I have all my items in there. I'm able to slide them all on the bottom, and so all the room on the top is still open. Even my phone case is in there over on this side. But I feel like what room is left over on the top, while it's pretty similar to the Lou camera bag by St. Laurent, it's just slightly less. Not by much, but just slightly less. I would say they're pretty close in terms of capacity if you did stuff them to the brim, but I don't stuff my bags to the brim. So that's what this bag looks like on. It's super cute. I'm probably gonna wear this one today, I'm thinking, but I haven't decided for sure yet. And by the way, this sweater came from H&M a couple seasons ago, and these jeans are Can. Surprise, surprise. Okay, I have two contemporary brands that I would like to show you next. They are the McGraw camera bag by Tory Burch, and then the Coach quilty camera bag in metallic silver. The color on this one is dark solarium. And by the way, before I forget, the color on this bag is dusty gray, and this one is just called brown. So creative, isn't it? So let's measure the McGraw camera bag and see where we are in comparison to the others. It is about 8 inches wide by just under 6 inches tall by just under 2.5 inches deep. I bought this McGraw in dark solarium off Poshmark. I found a great deal on it. I really like it because it's a more muted yellow than some of the other yellows that Tory Burch has. So I'm going to move over my pouch and my card cases and my cell phone case. It is tighter in this bag. See, in the other two bags, you could definitely put a small bottle of water on top, I think, but in this one, not so much. You could probably fit a glasses case on top if it was a thin reading glass type case, but not like a regular large sunglass case. And you can see here on the tassel, I did the same thing. I put it onto a O spring ring type situation, and then I just have it dangling there. And then I also chose to put a little Coach charm on there that's a feather. Although in actuality, when I carry it, I don't think I'd like that. Do you hear that noise? So that's how that one looks. It is just slightly smaller than those other two. If you like the strap on the Gucci bag with the chain on it, for that extra added little bit of bling, the McGraw by Tory Burch offers something similar. Although the chain I don't think is quite as substantial, it's still really nice. You can see it there. It also has a back pocket, which is something that neither of the other two bags offer. And while I don't think you could probably fit your phone sideways comfortably, you could definitely pop it in upright in a pinch when you needed to be hands-free. Last, I'm going to show you the Coach Quilty. Now, this is definitely the smallest of the four that I'm showing you today. It is the only one that is 100% leather. The lining is 100% leather. This pocket, which is too small for a phone, and it's also in the front, but it is also 100% leather. It does offer the chain detail on the bag, but the chain on this one is much longer, so you get more bling. And I believe it is an aluminum because it's really lightweight. So let's transfer what I had in the other bags into this one, and I'll show you what we cannot fit. First, I'll put my pouch, and you can see that takes up a whole lot of space in the bottom of this bag. Okay, I've got everything in there except for my phone. And if I put my phone in there, I don't think it would close. So I'm gonna say it holds everything but my phone. But it's super tight because you can see it's sort of bulging right there a little bit. It's tight. So one thing I've done is I take out one card case. So let's take out this card case. There's only 3 cards in that case, and there's a little card slot on the inside of this bag. And when I do that, I no longer have any bulging of any kind. So to get into this bag, which let me measure it, I'm getting that it is 7.5. On the website, I believe it says it's 7.75. On the height, I'm getting about 5.5. And I believe it says 5.75. Maybe if you include the puffiness up at the top instead of measuring it more along the edge, it would be 5.75 and 7.75. And then for the depth, I'm getting just over 2.5 inches. And I believe on the website, it says 2.5 inches. So this little bag here, it packs a punch. And when you compare it to the Kira camera bag, which I'll show here, the Kira camera bag is by Tory Burch, and the measurements on it are, I believe, 3/4 of an inch less in height and 1/2 of an inch less in width. This one holds so much more. And I don't know how a tiny little bit of width and height can make that much of a difference, but it really does. I could not live with the Tory Burch Kira camera bag. It was just too small. I sold it, and I ended up buying it in Poblano with silver hardware, the exact same color combination, but in this small Kira flap bag. Let me show you. I had this color combination in the camera version, and I loved the color combo. I got a great deal on it, but I ended up selling it because losing that 3/4 of an inch one way and 1/2 an inch the other way just made the bag too small to be functional. And this small size is way bigger than the Kira camera bag that looks a lot like this in terms of the shape and design. There is one other bag that I want to mention, and it's the Coach camera bag that's the bigger size. There is a bag that looks almost identical to this, but without the quilting, and I will insert a picture of it here. And that bag is 9 inches across. So I think you're going to see a very similar capacity on that one to the Gucci Marmont small shoulder bag and the Saint Laurent Lou camera bag. I think this Coach bag is going to be very similar in capacity to these two, just based on the measurements. However, I don't like it quite as well as either one of these two. These two, I just think they're more aesthetically pleasing with the quilting, and the only way you can get the quilting with the Coach is to take a step down in size. So I hope that information has been helpful. I think that all of these bags are wonderful. I think that these three, I like the leather better because on all three of them, it is super soft and feels good, and they're smooshy. Out of the three, probably the Gucci is the most durable with whatever type of glazing they put on it. And the YSL, I think, would be second. Metallic finishes are just inherently easy to show wear and tear. And so we'll just have to wait and see on that. But this is supposedly a Napa leather, and it feels just amazing. This bag is made out of a pebbled leather, which you can see. And probably it is the most durable. It's definitely got the most structure, but it's last place, in my opinion, in terms of the aesthetic. I do love the McGraw. I love the pick stitch that they put on the emblem. I just think the details are really nice, but it just feels a little bit cheap in comparison to the other three, including the Coach. And the Coach isn't a big price difference when compared to this one. So that's my wrap up and summary of the camera bags that I have in my collection. I hope this is helpful to you if you're considering a bag in this style, and I hope you have a fabulous day. I'm Erin, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. That way you won't miss future content. Drop me a comment below if you have any questions or just want to have a conversation, and please remember to like this video if you did. Take care and have a great week.